This week's Parsha is what? Parsha's Para. That's the one that Chazal say you have to study. Parsha's Para teaches what? Well, you got to purify. If you want to purify yourself from the impurity of contact with the dead, you need the ashes of a Para Duma, right? I don't know. It's like they pause with it. It's like many of us are armchair quarterbacks who are like, hey, come on, let's get the Para Duma going. I don't know. And maybe something's up with it because just like Christian Europe, even if they're not necessarily Christian anymore, they do not want the Beis HaMikdash to be rebuilt. It's already a terrible thing that there's a state of Israel. That goes against everything they ever believed in. It contradicts their religions. So too the building of the Beis HaMikdash. So no matter what, the Beis HaMikdash may not be built. And we have to stay to this lie that the Jewish people are to stay away from the Beis HaMikdash. Here is something important. Ask yourself, halachic nafkamina, why do I need the ashes of a red heifer? Yes, if you're a Kohen, you need to eat truma. If you're a Kohen, you cannot eat your truma unless you purify yourself. With regards to eating, here's the funny thing. With regards to eating the truma, if you're a Kohen, you have no way around this truma, this tuma. If you're a Kohen and you have real truma d'oraisa, let's say, or even d'rabbanan, you cannot eat it if you're tameh, right? So if you have tumas haguf, dunk in a mikvah. If you've never been to a funeral, you've been to the cemetery, you're a proper Kohen. But if you're a Kohen who's, for whatever reason, been contaminated, eat afilu beheter, and there are heterim for Kohanim to get, contaminated by tumas meis. Sometimes it's a mitzvah, right? Sometimes it's the heter, sometimes it's a mamish a mitzvah, it's a chova. So the Kohen can never eat truma unless he purifies himself with the ashes of the red cow. However, we need ashes of the red cow for another reason. You and I need to purify ourselves. We're not going to eat truma, so why do we need to take off the tumas meis that we have? Meiser Shem, Yerushalayim. It was Mana Mikdash, right? No, Meiser Shem, you only in Jerusalem in times of Mikdash. Yeah, you're not supposed to. You have Meiser Shem, but you redeem it and you're supposed to because we don't take it to Jerusalem to eat. Just like Bikurim. No, because there's no Mikdash. Yeah. Here's what the answer to your question. Okay, I'll read you exactly as the Rambam has it. Meiser Shem Nechal Livalov. Liftim Nichomas Yerushalayim. Okay, the owners eat it within the walls of Jerusalem, and it says in the pasuk, "V'noig b'fnei habayis, v'shelo b'fnei habayis." Separating the Meiser Sheni you have to do when the temple stands and even when the temple is not standing. Hold on. Aval eino ne'echal b'Yerushalayim ela b'fnei habayis. Don't forget, you eat in Jerusalem is only when the bias is there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to be mafresh it all the time, but you can't bring it to Jerusalem. You're not going to eat it nowadays. Okay? Okay? So you have to separate it from your crop, but you can't eat it until you build a Beis HaMikdash. So the question returns: what do we do nowadays? Why does it make a nafkamina for you and me? And the answer is: here's the funny thing that God has done. He said that in regards to korbanos tzibur and eating the korban pesach, Tuma dechuyu b'tzibur. God will say, you know what? You don't have an extra red cow. Forget about the tumas meis. Go ahead and build the Beis HaMikdash. Do your korbanos. You don't have to care about that form of tuma. All the other forms of tuma, yeah, you still have to get rid of. Go to the mikvah. Do whatever purification process there is. But if the purification involves sprinkling the ashes of the red cow, forget about it. Which means that God gave a dispensation for eating korban pesach. Go right ahead. No worries about the fact that everybody is Tnei Meis. Reading Truma, yeah, there's no way out of that. So here's the funny thing. People will tell you now you can't go to the Temple Mount. You know why? Because you're all Tnei Meis. Look at this week's Parsha. Look at the Mishnayos. God has told us if we're all Tnei Meis, that's not an impediment. Go ahead. Go to the Temple Mount. Purify yourselves. Rebuild the Beis HaMikdash. Start the Korban Tamid. The nafkamin will be that the Kohanim won't eat the chatos. You're not going to be bringing shlamim because you won't be able to eat them. But you'll still have to do the things you're obligated to do, like Korban Pesach and the burnt offerings. Sin offerings you can still bring. You can still get the atonement. Kohanim won't be eating all the meat. So they'll be eating less meat. but it's not a problem. The fact that we're all Tamei Mace, God is very forgiving of that. That shouldn't stop you from going to the Temple Mount. It's a perversion of the halacha to say such a thing. As we're going to see, God willing, and we've seen every year around this time, Pesach is the only korban that's eaten the Tuma. So it's a mitzvah to eat it. So all the other korbanos are not eaten when they're offered the Tuma. So the meat is just disposed of, burned outside the base of Mikdash. This is something that should be surprising. Tell everybody, the fact that you're Tmei Mace, when it comes to going to Har Bayis, doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, or Hutra. Some say Hutra, but the way we have it in Al-Nocha, we're studying is